Okay guys, welcome to inkyvaper. Normally you'd see me up top first, but today we're going to be looking at the Shuriken RDA by Cthulhu mods, and I've decided to come straight down up close with this because I don't really want to vape it. So there's a bit of a fucking spoiler alert if ever there was one. I actually don't want to vape this. Right, so we'll pop open the box. As you can see, branded box, nice plastic box as per usual with Cthulhu mods. Allen key, spare parts. The RDA itself, which we'll come back to. Spare airflow ring, or a different airflow ring. Get that out. 510 connector. So you've got a 510 connector that you can pop into this to put your own drip tips in. As you see, it comes with its own sort of conical Delrin wide bore drip tip, which just pops in, which is seated on some extremely flimsy clear O-rings. Yeah. The barrel itself is similar to a lot of other ones these days, the twisted messes, etc. You've got a central airflow ring, and you've got a cap that just screws on. Now these threads are a little bit fine, and there's way too many of them in my opinion. But yeah, so there's the threads, and that basically threads on like so. And then you can turn your airflow. The problem with the airflow is that if I close off one hole there, tighten that off so that it's in place, go around the other side, all four are still open. If I tighten, close off, see I can't even the air slots on here. I'll just take the barrel off. Basically, the only way you can actually restrict the air on this is to just slightly close off those huge, great big slots. And unfortunately, that makes the airflow extremely noisy and turbulent, and it gets on my nerves. So I basically have to run this thing fully open. You've got a shitload of these, all running all the way around. I believe they've done it so that you can actually do it in single airflow mode. However, or single coil mode I should say. But however, why would you want to run a single coil that wide open? I have no idea. I mean, it's just incredibly poor design. These are just flimsy as all hell. They feel like they could bend in between your fingers. I mean, that one definitely does. This is the reason that I bought this RDA. This deck, the clamp star deck, and it does work reasonably well. I mean, I had a bit of trouble with the Clapton sort of not sitting right, because if you've got, as you see, you've got the screws. Let me just use this as a pointer. You've got a screw running in the middle there. You've got this sort of C-shaped bar that sits on top of the plate there, and the screw goes down, pushing that plate down. Now, what I found happened with a fuse Clapton the other night was that you can basically see it one side clamped down and the other side just slightly tilted up and was loose. So the air connection was crap. I had to keep fiddling about with it for ages to actually get it to actually sit properly. Just prior to making this video, I gave this a clean out, took the build out that was in it, so a couple of fuse Claptons. Literally all I did was undo these Allen screws here, take the build out, go into the kitchen. By the time I got into the kitchen, this 510 pin had loosened off enough that the positive pin, the positive post, had twisted completely and come out of the peak insulator that's in there. You can get it to move just with your fingers. Sorry, yeah, I've just twisted it there, and that was tight. This thing, there's literally half a centimetre gap between that big post in there, that big block of metal at the bottom there, which is the bottom of the positive post. I don't know if you can see it properly there. This piece of metal here and this post, that twists, and you fire it up, you've got hard short instantly. Another joy about this RDA is that these are those clear O-rings that, if anybody has had any experience of them, as soon as they get any kind of condensation or e-liquid on them, they get wet at all, this whole RDA just becomes a fucking joke. I don't normally swear a lot in my videos, but I am absolutely fucking disgusted with this piece of kit. It's badly constructed. The materials are cheap and horrible. Okay, it's an affordable or cheap authentic. But I've had other products. This was about I think it was about £23-24, something like that. I can't remember exactly. I'm not going to say who I bought it from, because I don't think it's fair to mention them in the same breath as this piece of crap that I'm holding in my hands right here. The reason I'm wearing gloves is because I don't really want the fucking stink of this thing on me. I am absolutely disgusted. I spent my own hard-earned money purchasing this device, and it's just not fit for purpose in my opinion. It's extremely poorly made. There are some design cues that are great. The main reason I bought it was I was thinking this might be something that I could recommend as a affordable option against the Goon. So for people who wanted to buy a clamp style RDA such as the Goon, but didn't want to pay out the £55-60 for something like that, I was gonna be hopefully being recommending this, because previously I've been quite impressed with the Hasta and the Hasta V2 from Cthulhu Mods, and you know, despite it had a couple of flaws, I actually quite like the Cthulhu V2 RTA as well. But this, it's just the biggest pile of crap I've ever bought. This is another example. If you can see, this is the small airflow barrel, which is supposed to fit on here and give you a smaller airflow, which will be a nice change of pace for you. I'd love to be able to tell you how it works, but unfortunately, if you can see inside the barrel there's a huge build-up of unfinished stainless steel, if it's stainless steel. Chinesium is probably the correct term for it. So when I try to put this on here, look, it doesn't fit on. And it's got that zippy, crunchy, crappy noise. Everything about this thing is zippy and cheap. You can hear it. It's just... I'm disgusted. Absolutely disgusted. It was slormed in machine oil, smelt like hell. You know, Cthulhu mods have been pretty poor about machine oil in the past. I mean, the Cthulhu RTA V2 nearly fucking poisoned me with the amount of machine oil that was in that, because I cleaned it for over an hour in my sonic cleaner, thought it was all clean, and then as I started vaping a tank full of juice, it all seeped out from God knows where. Ended up having to actually soak that thing in boiling hot water for overnight. So as you can imagine, you know, I'm not overly keen on either the smell or the fucking taste of machine oil anymore, and this thing was certainly absolutely swimming in it. It just, I mean, look at the thinness of this. I'm going to try and bend it with my bare hands. I bet it won't fit on there now. Yeah. As you can see, just with the pressure of my fingers, that is now out of shape. That shows you how cheap and flimsy this piece of crap really is. I'm probably going to take you to a different camera view now, because I'm going to do what I think needs to be done with these two things here. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, so I've taken you into my kitchen where we're going to have a look at these barrels and see what we can do to improve them. So Sorry about the noise. Right, I think that's improved the whole fucking RDA. I'll see you back up top in a minute. Hi guys, welcome back up top. Sorry about having a rant. As you can see, there's the Cthulhu mods Shuriken RDA and what I think of it. As I said in the up close portion, I'm flabbergasted that a company that have produced some really good RDAs, like both the Hasta RDAs, would allow such a shockingly poorly made piece of crap to be released into the wild. It's in my opinion, it's again another example of these companies expecting us as vapers to pay out our own hard-earned money to beta test something for them, and to basically just think, well, okay, well, this is, we'll make it out of the finest Chinesium and just send it out to the general public, and they can fucking wear it. As I said before, I don't normally swear a lot in my videos, but this has really fucking boiled my piss. I spent way more time on this thing than I should have done. I tried rebuilding it several times. I think the final straw for me last night was when I was rebuilding it, putting some Claptons in there that took me some time to actually make the coils and make the wire, do the coils and everything, and then to have them go in there and it just be an absolute ball ache from beginning to end. I've had enough. I know I normally wouldn't destroy something either, but I'm not giving this to anybody. I wouldn't give it to my worst enemy. It's dangerous. That center positive post just spins of its own accord. It's dangerous. It's a piece of crap. It's the biggest pile of shit that I've ever owned in vaping, including CE4 tanks. It's not fit for purpose in my opinion. It's cheap, it's nasty, and it offends me that I ended up paying out my own money to basically be given a piece of scrap metal that wasn't even finished. This now squashed, smaller airflow ring had huge amounts of remnants left in there. It hadn't been finished machining. There's a good 5 mil of just burr on the inside of that, which meant it couldn't fit on the central barrel. Unacceptable, absolutely unacceptable. This RDA wasn't due to be reviewed until after I'd reviewed the Goon RDA by Customs 528 Customs, but I felt I needed to actually get this out as quickly as possible so that nobody else has the misfortune of wasting their money on such a piece of crap. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm pretty annoyed about this, and it's not something I like doing, rubbishing a product this badly. But in my opinion, this really is not worth anybody's consideration. People could tell me, oh well, it just might be a quality control issue. Quality control issues shouldn't include a safety flaw that basically means that positive pin just works its way loose and can end up being potentially extremely dangerous. And how do you miss half a centimetre of unmachined airflow ring? It's beyond belief. So anyway, as I say, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop before I bite something. I'll be bringing you the Goon RDA as soon as I can. Probably wait until I've calmed down. I'm off for a few days now, so it won't be too much longer, guys. I've got some nice coils to put in there, so we'll actually do a build video on that one, and hopefully I'll be a lot more smiley for that. Again, I'd like to apologise if you're offended by any of the swearing, but it's how I feel. And thanks very much for putting up with my tirade of abuse. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.